Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss, and this is a breakdown of the trailer for HBO's The Last of Us. Based on the two-part game series from Naughty Dog, the first episode premiering on January 15th. It's a post-apocalyptic survival story following a smuggler transporting a girl across the country who might be humanity's best hope for a cure to a fungal infection. From clickers to bloaters and every spore in between, I'm gonna break down some details you missed in this trailer and explain why this series is gonna rock. Since the plot of both Part 1 and Part 2 of the games are really known at this point by people who played them, I'm gonna avoid plot spoilers, so if you haven't played the games, don't worry. You'll be able to watch this video without getting everything spoiled for you. And thanks to Boxu for sponsoring this video. More on their tasty offerings later. So let's go.
If you don't think there's hope for the world, why bother going on?
You haven't seen the world, so you don't know. You keep going for family.
Okay, so The Last of Us centers around Joule, played by Pedro Pascal, and Ellie, played by Bella Ramsey, aka Lyanna Mormont from Game of Thrones, in a world stricken with a mutated strain of the parasitic cordyceps infection. Game developer Neil Druckman based this on the real-world parasitic cordyceps fungus that affects ants and other insects, spores latching onto their brains, taking control of their bodies and minds, and then sprouting out of their heads to release even more spores. Awesome! So to be clear, these are not zombies per se. This isn't really a virus, it's really a fungal infection. But the humans it infects do act aggressively and bitey, and the fungus can be transferred that way. So 20 years into this apocalypse, Joel, Ellie, and Joel's partner Tess walk through the overgrown streets of Boston toward the Massachusetts State House. They're gonna meet with a group called the Fireflies, which is a rebel militia that opposes the government quarantine zone authorities. In this shot, Joel hides behind a display case showing muskets. This is an exhibit for the American Revolutionary War in Boston's Freedom Museum, and he's hiding from a clicker, a type of infected that is blind but extremely sensitive to sound and uses these clicks for echolocation, you know, like bats and other sight-limited animals. And if you listen closely, the clicks do sound like they are wheezing out of an inverted trachea or something.
So you don't know.
A tragic echo of the human this once was, in a setting that echoes the country this once was. And we end this clip with a flashback of Joel and his daughter Sarah in the city of Austin, Texas, burning behind them, which will likely be from the opening sequence of Part 1. Now, I want to say this is meant to be Austin's 6th Street, but I might just be thinking that because Dirty 6th already looks as chaotic on a normal weekend night. Series creator Craig Mazin, I know you know, we were both at that Austin Film Festival that year. Did I just force into this video the fact that I met Craig Mazin and won the Austin Film Festival pitch contest in 2015? Yes, I did. Moving on.
I'm not family.
No, you're cargo.
Why are you so important?
Somewhere out west, they're working on a cure. I think what really impressed them was the fact that I didn't turn into a monster.
All right, so Joel is transporting Ellie westward across the country to use her blood to try to develop a cure. She claims to have been infected, but while symptoms normally set in around 2 days, 3 weeks later, Ellie's still fine, so she might have a natural immunity. They cross this bridge outside Pittsburgh. It's a major location from the games. Boats are sunken and capsized, and the interiors of Pittsburgh on the show and the post-flooding services were all inspired by Robert Polidori's photographs of flooded New Orleans following Hurricane Katrina. Moving on.
If she so much as twitches,
So Bella Ramsey's transition from joking around about twitching to checking herself and whispering, okay, this is pitch perfect Ellie from the games. Also, her position in that beam of sunlight, one little weed snaking down toward her, a nice reflection of the way the spores are trying to get to her, but they fall short. You can't touch this. Do. I don't want to say it because I'm not proud of this joke. Moving on.
I'm taking you with me. Do what I say when I say it. Got any advice on the best way west? Yeah, go east.
So the music in this trailer is a-ha's Take On Me, a reference to The Last of Us Part 2. It's a song that Ellie plays an acoustic cover of for her partner Dina after throughout Part 1, Joel had promised her he was gonna teach her how to play the guitar. I don't want to spoil too much about what happens, but this is deeply significant and we're all gonna cry when this happens. Okay, in this shot, Ellie crosses a plank while Joel tends to an injured Tess on the rooftop. Behind them is the clock tower of the Marriott Boston Customs House. It's one of the city's first skyscrapers. Joel and Ellie join the brothers Henry and Sam in Pittsburgh. This location with the kids painting all over the walls looks like the entrance to Ish's sewer hideout in the game. Then Joel and Ellie hide behind this car as a Humvee with militia paint storms past. We also see some shots of trucks containing armed militiamen painted with We the People. But this Nissan has a Kansas license plate. That's because they shot many of the Pittsburgh scenes in Kansas City on the Kansas side, and with that WI in the corner of the plate, that stands for Wyandotte County. Now there's a lot of things I would miss about my day-to-day life if, all of a sudden there was a parasitic fungus dystopian thing going on in society, but one of the things I would miss most is my snacks. I love snacks, and Baksu is my favorite Japanese snack. Subscription box. They work with family businesses all across Japan to deliver a new theme of authentic treats every month. Your first box will be Seasons of Japan, and then after that you will get a new monthly theme, just like this one. This month's theme is Hokkaido Wonderland, which showcases traditional winter flavors from Japan's northernmost island. All right, what are we going to try here? I'm gonna eat these white grape gummies from Hokkaido. Ooh, I love a good squishy squish. It's nice and soft on my nice and soft teeth. I could eat a million of these things, and you know what? The nice thing about Baksu is that when you really fall in love with a snack, you can stock up on your favorites through Baksu Boutique. Both I and the new Rockstars office have been receiving these boxes for ages, and we love them. Baksu makes a really great gift for the travel lover in your life, or really for any person who appreciates good food. If you give Baksu as a present, you get to give someone you love a fun and unique food experience and support our channel at the same time. It's really a win-win. So click the link in the description and use the code Rockstars to get $15 off your order. I'm just really looking forward to the series as a portrait of the North American West. And I say North American, not American West, because they did shoot much of this in Alberta, Canada. Sorry, people from Colorado and Utah and Wyoming. But hey, we got actor Graham Greene, known for roles from Dances with Wolves and Wind River, plays Marlin, an original character to the series, who lives with his wife Florence in the Wyoming wilderness. We see Joule sneaking in past his fence with a FEDRA sign, Federal Disaster Response Agency, based on the real-world FEMA, but in the world of The Last of Us, FEDRA has essentially become the ruling government authority. Joule is a smuggler, so he sneaks in and out of the FEDRA quarantine zones all the time. Moving on.
You've come this far, then you know what's out there.
You're not gonna scare us.
Scared him?
Joel looks up to see the Aurora Borealis, and then this creepy shot showing him climbing a staircase past a whole freaking pile of infected bodies that has grown into a heap of dried and rotted fungal mass. Yuck. But this is what ants do to other ants infected with cordyceps fungus. They carry them away from the colony and just pile them up so that those spores don't infect the rest of the ants in the colony. Moving on.
Purpose than any of us could have ever imagined.
Careful who you put your faith in.
Okay, looks like Joel and Ellie are being surrounded by David's group in Utah. We also see Marlene, that's Merle Dandridge's character, leader of the Fireflies group. A flashback shows Ellie's birth, and hey, her mother is played by Ashley Johnson, who played Ellie in the games. Actually, Troy Baker, who played Joel in the games, cameos as one of the hunters in David's group. Ellie hangs out at a shopping mall. This is likely Boston's Liberty Garden Mall, and here she hangs out with Riley, played by Storm Reed. This is coming from the Left Behind DLC that shows Ellie before she met Joel. Actually, the photo booth here is likely the photo booth that created that photo of Ellie and Riley in that Left Behind cover. Then we meet Frank and Bill, played by Murray Bartlett and Nick Offerman. These two are survivalists who live in Lincoln, Massachusetts. They fortified the city into a booby trap, death trap, and then a shot of Henry and Sam hugging. Brace yourself, the series is gonna break your heart. Moving on.
You might not be her father, but you were someone's.
You trust me?
Okay, we get some shots from within a vehicle here. This burning house might be Joel's daughter Sarah's point of view as Tommy drives them out of the Austin suburb from the part 1 opening. They do pass Lewis's farm in that part, so this could be that. There's also an explosion as they drive down an Austin street, maybe the gas station that they pass that a car runs into and blows up. Then a quick shot of David chopping a butcher cleaver beside Ellie's head. David, who leads that group in Utah, is gonna be a major antagonist in this first season. And then after the title, we move on to the last bit. Okay, this big boy is the bloater, one of the strongest infected creatures in the game, whose fungal outgrowth is so thick that it covers the body like armor, so you can shoot and shoot and shoot and hit him with a baseball bat, light him on fire. It's gonna take forever to take him down because it's all just like flesh and he keeps going. I also just love how a few runners are climbing up alongside him with a fire behind. A terrifying image here. Now in the game, you do fight one of these in Lincoln, you fight another one in the hotel basement in Pittsburgh, and the sound design of this thing is incredible. It's a deep guttural growl projectile emitting from a mouth that you'll notice is a bit larger than the creepy little orifice that the bloater has in the game. In the game, it's implied that the fungal outgrowth hasn't really changed the human mouth beneath it, which just gives it a creepy humanity. But here it looks like it completely stretched out his jaw, which is also just terrifying in a different way. I'm so excited for the series. It's gonna be heartbreaking, it's gonna be realistic and gritty, with an amazing cast, with amazing landscape imagery and sound design and music. I can't wait for new Rockstars to break it down in the new year. Let me know your thoughts on this trailer. Follow me on TikTok, Hive, Instagram, and Twitter at EA Voss. Follow New Rockstars. Subscribe to New Rockstars for more analysis of everything you love. Thanks for watching. Bye.